All right, what's happening, Ward Wrestling Live? We are here. We are getting to meet another amazing local club in the state of Florida. Another one's opened up in his image. How long has it been open?
6-7 months now.
6-7 months. So it's great, man. Through this pandemic, we've seen a bunch of cool stuff happen in wrestling, and one of them is in his image. We've got Coach Chad Adams here, a Philadelphia native. He's made St. Pete home. He wrestled since he was 5 years old. Boxed in Philly. We all know it's a fighting town. 3-time Beast of the East placer. Ran into some roadblocks in high school, but he's back into wrestling. Found the wrestling room and back doing big things in life. So now we have him on Ward Wrestling Live. I'm excited to meet him. What's up, Coach Chad Adams? What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. I'm glad I got to meet you at D1.
Absolutely. I really, the big thing is I just really want to get in with that community. And I find what they're doing at D1 is like the best place, bringing everything under one roof. And it's like I got introduced right away, to the whole community there. So I really do enjoy that side of wrestling a lot.
Yeah, and it seems like, and we were talking a little bit off the air, but I mean, it seems like you can pick up the phone or DM someone, whether it's Avramitis up at the Canes or the Mafia down there, or Charlotte or BB or Scorpions. You had Scorpions coach in today, the Brawler, Tampa Jesuit. I mean, they're all around you, and it seems like, and everybody's willing. I always see them posting like, "Hey, we're not open today," and then someone else is like, "That's cool. Let the kids come here for the day, get a roll in," and and it's just been great, man. So, St. Pete, man, how long you been down? I know you opened up about 6-7 months ago, but how long have you been down from Philly?
So I moved from Philly about going on 3 years now. I've been down here.
Wow, so you were up in Philly your whole life, pretty much.
Oh yeah, born and raised.
So I guess you were happy when the Phillies beat our Rays, but now the Rays are in the World Series. I know you're rooting for them, right? Secretly.
I'm going to say that, to be honest, I ditched everything I ever knew and loved, and I'm a Bucks fan. I'm a Rays fan.
Yeah.
Get it.
Go Rowdies.
Yeah, I'll take the Rowdies. I'll take whoever. I'm loving it here.
I haven't been to a Rowdies game yet, but over the last years, my sister-in-law keeps telling us it is the funnest time in St. Pete. You've got to come down and go to one of these Rowdies games. So if you get a chance, head down there. I know we've been down during the summer. They do those cool farmers markets down there on the weekends.
Absolutely.
Over to that, man, you can have a good time there. It's fun. So what made St. Pete the place for you, man? What brought you down here?
Well, to be honest, I do my research before I make any big moves. And, Philadelphia is kind of just like, it was just one of those big fish, small pond. Everybody was getting complacent. I knew I could have opened a wrestling program out there if I really thought about it, and it would have been the easiest thing ever. But I'm in sales, and I just kind of did my research. I'm in sales for hurricane protection windows. So Florida was obviously the number one choice. Everything just kind of led me to St. Pete. I've never even heard about it. I never heard of Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater in my whole life. Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, what have you. Like, I know it, been there vacation, but like, honestly, everything was just really, it fell into place for me. And St. Pete embraced me more than I could ever even imagine.
It's been said it's the number one growing city in the country. They've had huge articles about it becoming a great little craft brewing town. That downtown area has just blossomed.
Right.
I know, it's crazy through, excuse me. It's crazy through COVID. The Rays, look what the Rays did.
Absolutely.
And they went all the World Series, but there was talk about the Rays leaving. And I think at first a lot of the locals were like, oh, man. And then they got to a point where like, all right, well, tear it down and put more breweries in or something, right? Like,
yeah,
like whatever. But now it's like, hey, they're back on the map. They're doing big things. But yeah, I think you chose a really good place. My sister and brother-in-law were traveling the country. She was a physical therapist. He's a brewer by trade and a chef. And they were doing the same thing. They were saying, you know what, where should we go? She wanted to be back home, but close enough that we couldn't be there like every day. so
Right.
so they did the research. They got into St. Pete when there was just like not much going on yet, and the next thing you know, here it is. It's growing. It's so I mean, there's definitely huge opportunity for you there, and plus you're catching wrestling in Florida at the right time. It's peaking. It seems
It's a
like
beautiful thing.
the depth is starting to come up a little bit, and like I tell you, we need more guys like you to open up these clubs and get these kids rolling. But so how did you find wrestling when you were a kid? Usually I talk to a kid from Philly and they ended up in a boxing gym or something, but you found
No, I
wrestling.
did. I eventually did. But to be honest, it's like you're spoon fed back home. I mean, I clearly was not big enough or fast enough for football. It wasn't working out. So I was kind of bouncing around from sport to sport at that point. And then it just came to the point where like I was always driven, and I was always meant for that sport life where there's got to be sacrifice, there's got to be drive. Um, and it just wasn't in those fields. But then you talk about take a circle and say, you can't leave this circle, you know, that's in my element. Like you can't back up away from me and it's you or me going out, then I feel like that's where I thrive always. It was just a dog eat dog world in Philly, and the wrestling just matched that for me. And I was hungry every time I go. I wasn't looking to go the distance with anybody. I was looking to hurt, and I was looking to pin, and that's all we were ever taught.
Yeah,
And I've loved it.
it's a tough town, man. I love it. Um, I know that you had some ups and downs. I know you were growing in the sport. You were doing big things. You had place at the beast, and then you got in a little bit of trouble your senior year, and that kind of derailed you. Um,
Yeah.
what got you kind of back on the horse and got you to say, okay, well, I don't want to continue down the wrong path. I need to adjust here. And sure, uh, I lost an opportunity, but I didn't lose my life. I can move on and I can do some big things here. Where some people kind of they lose that opportunity and they just fall off the planet or get into bad things. You've seemed to kind of go a different direction.
Yeah. I guess to make a long story short, it's basically just wrestling was always a big accountability for me. I got in my trouble. I would say I got caught senior year, but it didn't say anything about the other years. But I feel like I always cleaned up my act come wrestling season, or the fact of like off season training and things like that, that it just always kept me accountable for myself. I always had a coach breathing down my neck that truly cared about me, compared to like a team sport where it's like you're looked at as a whole. Like my coach was just on top of me. If I was late for practice, he's knocking on my door. My mom would have basically gave him the key in the house. He could run up my room, drag me down the steps. It's fine. Um, Senior year hit. Like I said, I did a little bit of a role reversal. I went from wrestling to boxing, started training, and you kind of put a bullseye on your head back home when you start doing stuff like that, and you get challenged. And at that point, when your hands are registered, it just doesn't go a good way. The biggest thing for me, though, I mean, I can't say I cleaned up my act right then. I was a knucklehead for a long time. But the biggest thing, to be very honest, is the closest thing that I had from the accountability through wrestling was a fellowship that I get through church. And I was never really big into church. It was never a thing that I grew up on. But, I got invited one time with a friend. Simplest story, walk in. I'm sure the pastor does this to every single person, but he shook my hand, looked me right in the eye and said, welcome home. And it was a point in time right then when I felt like I was outcasted by a lot because I've let so many people down. I hurt so many people in my downward spiral that it's like a place that I really felt truly accepted, truly forgiven. And it was just ready to to be told that I'm forgiven and that the path is still right there ahead of me to get back on. And it truly clicked in my head that, wrestling is identical to that. These guys are out here, COVID hits. How many of you were sitting on the couch? How many of you got up into the clubs and started, getting some off-season training? And I mean, within reason, I really relate church and wrestling a lot. And it wasn't until I truly moved to St. Pete. Me and Jamie were even talking about, we didn't move to Florida to wrestle. Like that was not in the books. It was just, I was in church and we were talking about legacies. And, I'm out here and I'm doing better than I ever did. I'm making more money than I made back home. I'm living a life in a beautiful city, better than I could ever imagine. Everybody back home following me on Facebook's jealous as could be. And it just wasn't fulfilling. And they were talking about the legacies, and it's like, well, what am I really leaving behind? What are people really going to remember me as? And it was a scary thought for me, to be honest. So immediately it's like, well, what can I do to invest myself? And now here I am in the city, and I'm a number one person. And if I call this place home, you'll know me. You'll know me. I'm going to invest in my city, and I'm going to try to take care of everybody I can. Like my heart stays open for everybody out here. And just kind of out of nowhere, it dawned on me. There's a big portrait that my buddies from Philly flew out here and painted. And I don't know if you took a look at any pictures, but it shows a wrestler in prayer. It shows a wrestler in prayer. And the second motion is him in his stance. And then the third one's him carrying his cross and moving forward. And that's kind of what it really was for me. That just the fact of like picking up my cross, carrying on, and understanding that what we have out here in St. Pete is so much potential, but kids not even realizing it. If I come from a city where we're wrestling since 5 and I moved to a city where we're not even wrestling till freshman year for the most part, like I wanted to create that funnel. And it was great because like, even to say like, I'm from a stone's throw away from another wrestling program, but we're creating, younger generations to go up to someone's like higher caliber, like a BB, and we're just creating that Florida wrestling like it always should be. And it's a beautiful thing. And like, I'm just really glad to be a part of it right now.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And I mean, how much of that are you able to pour into these young kids to make sure that they don't make the same mistakes, or they don't get on the wrong path, or they're able to fulfill some of the dreams that maybe you didn't and you wish you could
Right.
go now and do. So not only are you bringing them in to teach them wrestling, but I'd imagine you're faith-based. I'd imagine you're talking to them about, how to live the right life, how to walk the right steps, how to do, whether it's believing in God, whether it's having faith, or whether it's just, look, that's right and that's wrong, and understand it.
It's a wrestling mindset. That's what we're building. To be honest, like, I'm not going to ever call this like a religious organization. The way I look at Christianity is a choosing of a lifestyle. Christianity to me is to be Christ-like. If you choose or choose not to believe in Christ, but who Christ was to me was a man that physically lived on this earth and lived without sin. So if all we're trying to do is strive to be a better person, what's the wrong in that? And every kid, so we're literally in my war room right now. This, I don't know if you can take a look at it, but this is like the room where these kids sit. We break bread, we eat, we do little kid sermons. We just kind of develop their mindsets to get the understanding that we're not going to win every battle, but it doesn't mean like the war ended. Like we're going to keep coming back out. We're going to get hungry. We're going to come for more. I took one of those kids to D1. He gave kids some battles, like they'll remember his name, but I mean, he didn't ultimately come out with the W. And it's still, I would say, if you can go out and lose out and come to me, lose out 3 matches, come to me with 3 questions, I have no problem. If there's something that we're going to win or we're going to learn, and that's what we're kind of here to do. So he takes it very gracefully, comes out and he works harder. I mean, up until 10 minutes ago, what is it? 9:30 practice ended at 8. He walked out 20 minutes ago. He puts in work. And like, that's all I'm really here for. Like, anybody that wants it and has the drive for it, this is that building for them. Like,
it's great, the community. Like, I mean, I was talking to one Florida coach the other day, and he'll tell me that another Florida coach will call him sometimes and be like, hey, I saw your kid wrestling. You need to work on this and this. I kind of saw this and that. Bring them by. We can put some stuff working them, or do it. And just to have even a competitor or another person eventually you may have to duel against, but as a community, what did I say? I said, I feel like since I've gotten to know the wrestling community, it's like the military, right? Like if the Army and the Marines were to meet at a bar, it's going to be a bar fight. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be a lot of throwing stones, right? But when the war starts, they're all on the same team, right? And all that stuff behind us. So I feel like when it's wrestling, for the most part, people are like, okay, it's wrestling. It's for the better of the sport and these kids. We can all come together now and do the right thing. And it's refreshing to see. I mean, not everybody's perfect in every sport, and there's bad apples, but for the most part, from the people that I've gotten to meet, it seems like the community is strong and bonded and all with the same goal, right? And to grow wrestling as a sport, not just in Florida, but everywhere. And now we're seeing the girls come into it. So
Absolutely.
that would be a big thing too. I mean, getting these little girls into the room and starting them young, and all of a sudden you just have this um, like this mill of these little hammers coming out of St. Pete and Tampa, and
I'm
um,
loving it right now.
yeah, that'll be fun, man. So you know, uh, so you told me that that's what made you, you're sitting in the church legacy. Where am I going to leave my memories? Man, I need to get back. It's something I know I can do. I can let me give to these kids. Um, and you open the club, and now you're starting to do big things. You've been open about 6 or 7 months now. You're starting to get a little traction. Find yourself. You have your group. Um, Now with the other clubs opening up around you, and some that have been open, you're able to get out. I saw you at D1, and there's things happening every weekend from Lakeland to you that you could always be
Yeah.
part of, and your gym. So, but this weekend you're doing your first ever Rumble in the Streets. He showed me his mats before we came on the air. He was moving them around and letting me see the streets that he's going to rumble on. But so tell us a little bit about it. I know you're going to have mats inside and you're going to have mats outside, correct? Well,
Oh yeah.
tell us about it. Tell us the times, the location, what to expect, what you have going on. Because I know we talked at D1 and you mentioned a whole bunch of cool stuff that's happening. Go
Yeah.
for it, man.
Uh, yeah, I like to go big or go home. So I mean, I know we were talking about it a little earlier, but I really wanted to mimic the style of Beat the Streets in Philly. And so we're taking it directly to the streets. I got a full size competition mat on the inside. I just got one ready for all set up for the outside. It's not directly in the street. We're not stopping traffic, but it's in the parking lot. Um, and we're going to run the two mats. It's going to be double elimination. We're going to set it up. We have K through 8. They'll start at 10 in the morning. We got the high schoolers. They'll start at about 12:30. And then we got the vets. We got a nice line of vets lined up, all ready to go for 3 o'clock. You know, we pretty much want everybody to weigh in about an hour before they get set up. We're still taking walk-ins, but we're stacked. I mean, we have a lot of who's coming around. Like I told you right before we started, I went to get my T-shirts printed last night, and to the shop in Clearwater, and out pops the guy that lives down the street from my mom's house in Philly. 3-time state champ, just hiding out in this screen printing place. Like, so he'll pop up. He's bringing a state champ of last year from Michigan.
So tell me, it's not actually a rumble like a live go. It's actually a tournament.
Yeah, so we
You have
basically we went off.
elementary level. When I hear rumble, I think of just kind of a live go, right? So it's not a
Right.
live go. You're actually having an elementary division,
Mhm.
a kind of a middle high school division, and then you're having kind of an elite division, kind of like the grappler does.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and there's a girl division, of course. So I didn't want to miss that one.
All
We have
right.
a great girl division right now. I wanted to add on that point. I am thrilled that that's what's going on. I know Lindsay Dahl has it big over there, but I mean, people are catching on. People are seeing her following, and I mean, I had 2 girls pop in the room today, so I mean, that's a beautiful thing altogether. But yeah, we started out with the idea of a rumble. But a lot of, especially my kids, because I'm literally taking day one kids. I mean, I have not one kid that walked in here with experience. So this is my introduction for them to feel a little bit more comfortable in their own house, but still have that competitive side to it. So it's not as like exhibition like, we're going to have food trucks out here. I'm not sure all their names, but there's about 4 food trucks that'll be out here. So that'll be good because I know I was starving at D1 last week. So
But they
a
got
lot
the
of food
chicken wing
trucks.
stand that comes at the middle.
Oh,
Were
I
you
missed
there?
it then.
Oh man, they got some great. There's if you need a good chicken wing place, he's got a chicken wing guy that comes there that
Man,
smokes them. He smokes them before he brings them there, and then he fries them right on site.
wow. Yeah, I missed that one. My stomach was eating it. So, Uh, it
But
was
yeah, so you
we
got
have
food
that.
trucks coming.
Yeah, we
From what
got
I
food
understand,
trucks.
you got music happening.
Oh, got a full DJ. The guys want intro music. You got intro music. I mean, it's gonna be cool. And then we're gonna take all the finalists inside. We got the spotlight for the mats, kind of make it a little bit more lively. I mean, we're getting signups for the tournament right now.
That's
Charlotte,
awesome.
Charlotte's in the house. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm sure when I posted, you saw how I posted your uh, when I promoted you, I also put on there the stuff that said, click this link, sign up now.
Yeah.
No, hopefully some people saw that. I shared it in all the Florida groups that I know. Um,
Oh, perfect.
so so I try to do that, and hopefully
I
that helps
appreciate
you
it.
out. But yeah, so I mean, I'm traveling Friday. I'm hoping that I can get up early Saturday and get down there because I want to see that. When does not the elites, but when does the high school go?
I would say I'm basically giving it the fact that like I feel like the K through 8 might kind of run through a little quicker. So we're gonna do a couple scrap rounds just to kind of give them more mat time. So I'm thinking by the time we clean the mats off, that's when the food trucks will arrive, give people a chance to eat. 12:30, 1 o'clock is when I think we're really gonna be starting up with the high schoolers.
And then 3 o'clock is like the elite.
Yeah, I mean it's basically whatever ends. Give me like 30 minutes to clean all the mats. Obviously, we're still guidelines with COVID, so we're cleaning the mats throughout every division, and then whenever the high school runs out, clean the mats. The vets will come.
Cool, man. Yeah.
I
So
was I
I'm
was
sure.
psyched to see how many vets showed up. Oh man.
Yeah, that's good because I know there's a lot of kids up at 32 this weekend. So uh,
Yeah. So this is what it was. It was
just
basically for them.
to see the ones that aren't up there staying home and getting a shot because there's a lot of really
Yeah,
good wrestlers that aren't bothering to go up there. So
absolutely.
it'll be
Yeah,
fun.
and they sold out pretty quick. So I'm sure there's a lot of talent that should be there that just not.
Yeah,
So
as a different type of year, you know. I mean, they can't have college coaches in there. It's a whole to do.
yeah.
But well, what's next for In His Image, or what you got some future events lined up? How do people become a member of your club? How do they become a part of it? Um, does it matter your age? Does it matter your level? Do you have your daily club hours? Are they different for each level student? Do you have people that, like the younger ones come in earlier, and then
Mhm.
like some clubs
We
will
just
four to
we
six?
just started that transition. Yeah. So we're officially Monday through Friday. Uh, I got a couple other people that I used to wrestle with back home. Moved out here. AJ Davis, he was a state placer. He's out here now. He's helping coach. Um, so basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide it. It was always the goal. It was just never really in the making. I honestly wanted to keep it K-8. That's where my passion is at, honestly. I feel like I have more to contribute to them, and I feel like there's other clubs that had more to give to some of the older students. But now I think we're kind of leveling off. So what we're gonna do is it's Monday through Friday, and then we're gonna have. So basically, my kids are 5 to 8, but the difference is they wrestle 5 to 7. They're in the war room for the last hour. So then from 6:30 to 8:30 will then be the high schoolers. As
Nice.
of right now, we're weighing it out because we have a lot of action for an adult division, and considering the high schoolers are going back to school, we're probably going to end up substituting the K-8, keep them, and then we're going to have a full adult division start coming in here rolling.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome for you.
There's a lot of people that are trying to do that reverse transition from jiu-jitsu and things like that. They got led up into the mixed martial arts first. Obviously, understanding now that wrestling should be your fundamental. I don't know how many quotes you need to see or memes you need to see to realize that wrestling is the foundation. So we're getting all those kind of guys back, and they're taking off with the wrestling. And the next partnership that we got a new gym all lined up. enough for my 2 mats. So if we do rumble on the streets, it's going to be 3 mats, just to throw one out on the streets for the good time's sake. But yeah, we're still staying in St. Pete, but we got partnered with this guy that's doing it's a mixed martial arts class. And it was basically a split. So we have his range of his full free weight gym and sauna and shower room, and we got a full build out now for 2 mats and a price I couldn't say no to. So we're just running out this lease right now. We're gonna throw out a few lawyer jargons about the corona to kind of cut my lease a little bit shorter here, and we're really looking forward to the future for this one.
Nice. So that'll be awesome. Well, let's get into the 10 questions. You ready? All right. So Rays or Rowdies?
Rays.
All right. Let's see. Sarasota Beach or Clearwater Beach?
Depends on my intentions. We're going Clearwater.
Perfect. There's no rules to this, so you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You go a craft beer or a sour beer?
Oh, here's the good. I don't drink.
Oh, well, so when we do like brews and coaches, I'm gonna have to get you like a flight of Coca-Cola.
Shirley Temples and such, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Bucks or Eagles?
I'm Bucks. Told you.
Left the Eagles.
I don't even smell Philly anymore.
You like the first Fridays or the farmers markets?
Friday.
They got some good stuff. All right, so back in Philly, you got your steak and cheese. Down here in Florida, you got those grouper sandwiches. Which way do you go?
Philly all day.
Philly all day.
I forgot. I am loyal.
So you like banh mi's or the baos?
What is it?
The banh mi sandwich or the bao?
I haven't had either.
Oh, there's
Am I missing out?
Yes, I'm gonna have to. When we come down to St. Pete, we'll go to banh mi spot. I got you.
Good. Sounds good to me.
So hey! I know you're from the Northeast, but now you're down here. So tell me, is it a sub or is it a hoagie?
A hoagie.
It's a hoagie. Every time Philly's like, it's a hoagie. I'm like, it's a sub. A hoagie.
All right. I also kill up my water all day too, though. That's all I drink.
You prefer like a live go or a clinic?
Live go.
You prefer fishing on a boat or on a pier?
The sad thing to say, but this weekend will be my first time fishing ever, and it'll be on a boat. We're going king fishing.
For you. There is a pier out. Well, there's the new pier. They just built in St.
Yeah.
And there's supposedly a fishing area there.
Beautiful out there.
My son wants to go out there, but there's an old bridge that they turned into a fishing pier out by you, and it's
the Skyway, the part of the Skyway that fell, they kept it for the fishing pier. Yeah.
So I took the boys out there finally, and then the little one wanted to wake up the next morning and go again right before the pandemic hit. And man, it was like we were catching these. I forget what they're called. I'd have to ask my son. He loves fishing. So we took him home. We cleaned him. He cooked them up. He was having a blast with them. But it's a really cool spot because you can park your truck or your car or whatever you're driving right there, and you fish. So you don't have, like most places, you got to park a mile away. You got to go over here, right? Yeah. But this, you just park it right there, and boom, you're fishing. Drop a line. You're in there.
I'm still trying to just get used to it all. Like, I'm very naive. Like, I'm used to driving 4 hours to get to Ocean City, Maryland.
Well, yeah, because you're not fishing in the Philly River there. You're not fishing there.
Right. Like, you'll catch bodies before you catch fish.
You're not fishing like behind Dave and Buster's, right? Like, that's not happening. Yeah. It's not happening for you down there. Man, this is fun, man. I'm glad I got to meet you. I'm glad we got together. I hope, we can do a bunch of stuff together. I definitely, so that's my goal, man. It just depends on how. I don't know what to expect. I've never done anything like this before. So I'm going to drive. It's like 6-7 hours or whatever to get to Atlanta, and then I'll have a good time there. I'll do that, and then the goal is to get up in the morning and drive to you. But
If
if I
it's any incentive, there will be a craft beer food truck at the adult division.
I like that.
It's like a rolling kegs or whatever it's called, taps or something like that.
I'm sure my sister-in-law knows all about it,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's my goal. I told myself, I want to try to get there, but also
Oh yeah, absolutely.
my kids will be down there because I think they want to go fishing. So I don't know if they want to roll or anything, but I guess I'd have to let you know because it's not just a rumble where you walk in and wrestle. You got to, I mean, you're setting up a bracket and everything, right?
Yeah. But of course we can always accommodate because I'm gonna do scrap rounds anyway. I want to make sure like the kid that just lost out right away, get him a couple more matches, basically like call out style.
Yeah,
Anybody
it's
they want
cool.
or anything we think is
We got to go to the Disney duels last year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen this year, and it was
right.
our first experience of it. And people would ask me, "What did you like the most about it?" So the first day at the duels, all mats are taken up because all the teams are just starting out, and people have to lose to go away, right? So
Right.
um, all mats would be taken. Well, the second, third, fourth day, the back room they leave for just um, like call outs, right? Just as so people can get time. So, but in this case, they leave it with real scoring tables, real refs, and then the kids line up in lines and they just wrestle. And
Wow.
like it's real matches. So you'll probably get, I mean, my kid probably got 15 matches back there in day, so it was insane because it would be like, I don't know, let's say both your mats are going, right? Or all three of your mats are going, and then now you're down to two mats, but you throw a ref and a score
Yeah.
inside and say, hey, call outs. And then they go out there and you just get people rolling, So
Pretty
that's
much how we're gonna do it. Because
yeah,
we're gonna have the finals on the inside. So we'll basically use the outside as the scrap yard and go call outs.
that's cool. And I'd imagine you're gonna uh, surround it with something kids aren't going to be flying onto the concrete, hopefully. Yeah. We were
I
at,
will say that I thought about that, but it was only yesterday.
yes. Well,
So
because you're from,
technically kids
well, because in Philly, nobody gives a shit. They're like, let them crack their head open. It's fine. We'll rub some dirt on it.
and it's all good.
But these days, that's not the case.
No, there's guidelines and such.
Yeah. But yeah, because I remember watching, I was somewhere and there was a concrete floor and you'd see the refs started, they were calling the out of bounds a little earlier just to make
Right.
sure, kids weren't, but got to keep the kids safe. I mean, let them fight inside the circle, but you don't want them flying out and getting
Yeah.
road rash, right?
I think we're pretty good, except for one side, because the mat that I just bought is massive. I thought it was 3 sections. It only came in 2. So there's
Now you
a good amount.
you have refs or you got coaches reffing?
Refs.
Oh, cool. Well, they'll do the
Yeah.
right thing. They'll see what side needs to be worked a little bit.
Right.
I mean,
But I took I'm taking
this is
those
all
those trifold mats and I'm putting them
this is
like
all fun.
around those.
It's all for fun. It's all for fun. Get wrestling in. No need to, obviously people care to an extent because winning is more fun than losing, but
Right.
it's not like this is for the state championship. Like kids go out there, have a blast, get some time in
Yeah.
that, take advantage
Try
of
something you were trying to try.
take
Like
advantage of wrestling right now because we lost it for
absolutely.
so long and now it's starting to come back and we don't know. We don't even know if we'll have a high school season yet. So we'll kind of see. I think,
Yeah.
well, there'll be a high school season, but we don't know to what level, right? I mean, a lot of these big
Right.
tournaments have had to cut back how many teams they can have. Some schools
Yeah.
are letting their teams do overnights, but the cool thing is, like you said, we've got these clubs that are building dual teams and we just wrestle. I mean, that's pretty cool, man.
I'm loving it.
You get
Yeah.
a tournament over at the soccer stadium down there, or the old baseball stadium. You get something
Yeah.
on down there, or you've got that great park by the new pier. There's that big grassy park. Yo,
So
imagine
they
throwing
don't let you,
that.
they don't let you use that. I got kicked out of there already. But so actually prior to this Rumble, we were doing every Friday night, we were doing beach wrestling. And
I think that's where I first saw you.
yeah.
I kept
So
seeing this in his image beach wrestling. I'm like, is this
yeah.
a club opening or what's going on? And then, of course, you had partnered with a couple of local guys, and then I started seeing more of you. And yeah, but I would think, why you tried to throw a mat down in the grass there?
No, we did beach wrestling.
No, no, but you said you
Basically,
got thrown out of the park
yeah. Yeah.
over by the pier,
Uh yeah, they don't want anything organized over there.
unless it's the farmers
Whatsoever.
market.
They pay a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure if you organized a really
Oh, if I went the right procedures, I'm sure, but I didn't. I walked in, I said, "Here's my kid, let's go." And
yeah, no, you were just grass fighting. Yeah, but could you imagine how cool that's a big park. You could probably
oh,
you
it's
could set up
amazing.
a
Yeah,
mat there. Uh man, a nice spring night, man. Oh, lights up. All right,
it's
man. You got
nice.
me thinking now. We're gonna have a match on the grass in St. Pete. I'm down.
I love it.
Let's get it.
Anytime, anywhere, any place, we'll throw a mat down.
And I
That's where we're
and
pretty
I
much at. Yeah.
and we'll get some St. Pete Brewing beer over there. We got to do that. We got
Yeah.
St. Pete Brew beer uh, over there, man. That would be awesome. Well, next time you do it, let me know ahead of time. I can talk to them about maybe bringing a tent over or something.
Absolutely.
Because
No,
how
that'd be
far are
great.
you from downtown?
Here, 5 minutes,
And the new place?
15.
So you're still close.
Oh yeah, I'm not going very far.
Yeah, nice.
No.
Cool, man. Well, hey, I look forward to seeing you more often. I look forward to hopefully starting to get back to St. Pete.
Yeah.
It'll be a big thing for my wife to kind of go out and do something like that because she's been very
Yeah, you guys are quarantining pretty hard. I saw.
yeah, she's been pretty reclusive through this whole thing. Like I keep trying, I'm like, why don't you go down and spend the weekend down? She's like, no, I'm not spending the night anywhere yet. I'm not there yet. So I'm like, all right, well, so she may wake up early Saturday, go down and spend the day. But that's still good because to have her kind of start to do stuff.
Right.
I get it. You know, she owns a business, she has a business, she runs a business, and if she gets sick, then
Right.
you know she's got employees to pay. So I understand, but at some point, like you got to live. Like let's just go live, see what happens. We're all going to get it at
Absolutely.
some point, I think. I mean, I hope
I'm
not.
not. I'm not.
I
Right.
hope not, but I mean, so
I
far,
feel like if I've survived last week in a D1 and there's no outbreaks, I mean, we're fine. Like,
yeah, you know what it is. He doesn't. There wasn't a ton of people in the room.
right.
For the most part, trying to do the thing. But for me, it's just a matter of I wore my mask the whole time.
Right.
I wear my mask when I go out because I have like my little Cynthia on my shoulder, like, hey, you asshole, you better wear your mask. So I'm like, all right.
Right. And you have a family to go home to, of course. You know, so
Yeah,
it is just.
but I just see her yelling at me on my like remember like Gazoo and the Flintstones, like that's what I feel like I got on my shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, so
Luckily, all I have is a dog back home, and he don't tell me much. So
yeah, you go do your thing, man. Hey,
yeah,
this is awesome, man. I look forward to getting down, checking out your club, and I appreciate the support. I know you said you've been watching and supporting me, so thank you. And now, you know, my goal has always been as I started to get out and about to be able to support back. So I've been able to get out to a couple clubs already, and I really want to get out some more. I got to go check out the new little Polk County club that opened up with Tony
yeah,
there in Lakeland, and cool little place. And you spoke about Lindsay Dahl. She's going to do a Halloween girl thing.
I saw that.
That'd be cool to bring some of your little girls over there.
Yeah,
because they're going to do kind of a Halloween thing. And then I got to do one. I'm going to try to get out to you. I've been out to some stuff in Orlando and just kind of photo it and video it and go live because people need to see Florida's got wrestling, right?
Like we're wrestling out here. I mean,
Yeah.
D1 even has that. What is that next weekend? The big clinical at D1.
Yeah, with
Penn State.
Vincenzo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a good one. Are you taking some?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like what they're doing over there. I like everything under one roof. I like that they're working together. I couldn't even imagine having that set up being an individual coach with, a variety of clubs practicing, but it seems like whether it works perfectly or not, they're doing amazing things out there.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think
that's
what it
a
is
great
Mark,
facility.
from talking to Mark Prince, there was nothing open. And
Right.
parents were calling him. He's been in this Florida wrestling thing for his whole life, right? I mean, he has two
Right. His kids,
boys
definitely. Yeah.
that are phenomenal athletes, and now they're just amazing humans that are defending our country. But he had people reaching out, and people wanted to wrestle. Kids wanted to wrestle. Parents wanted their kids out of their house. Like, not everybody has the benefit to have maybe a home or a property that's big enough where your kids have a pool or your kids have yards to play in. So
Right.
at some point in a 1-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom house, you're like, I want to kill.
Get me out.
Yeah. And then he said there were other coaches that were like, man, we have nowhere to train. He's like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. He found a facility, put it together, and welcomed everybody. And it seems to have worked for him. So
I love it. I
and
honestly love it. I've been taking my guys there.
Yeah, the Canes opened up down the street with Coach Avramitis and Nick. He's wild. I like Nick. Have you been around Nick yet?
I haven't. Matt, I know I met.
Yeah. Nick's wild, man. He's fun. Every time I see him, Ward, he's cool. So he's a good dude. But yeah, man, you guys got wrestling going down there, and there's lots of opportunity. And if kids need a sport to jump into, that'll not just teach you how to wrestle, but teach them how to wrestle with life, right? So
absolutely. Everything we teach is on the mat and off the mat.
Well, hey, man, go enjoy an ice water and a lemonade and a coffee or something, or whatever the hell it is that you drink, and keep kicking life's ass, man, doing it big in his image. And I mean, I got Strength in Him is on there, and then
I never said them.
Yeah, and Belief in Him is on there. So those are my kids' favorite verses, but I kind of shortened them. So they would fit on my arm. Kudos to whoever does it, and God bless you, but there was no way I was writing a whole entire scripture down. Like
I've seen it. Yeah.
Like write the whole page on their body. I'm like, you could have kind of made it pretty cool, right? So when I did it, I kind of played my own, but yeah.
We actually follow a real good one here. Like we have a creed. Our creed here is a verse. It's Corinthians 9:25. And Corinthians 9:25 was really big for me because it's about an athlete that goes into strict training, competes for a crown that is temporary. And here we train for a crown that is eternal. And then it goes right into Nehemiah 4:14, where it's remember God, who is great and awesome, and fight for your families, fight for your wives, fight for your sons, fight for your daughters, and fight for your homes. And that's what we're here to do. We're making sure that we're turning these boys and girls into men and women, because that's exactly what they're going to go out in the street to be. And we just want them to be the light that shines through this dark world. I mean, there's always a positive way to look at everything. And I want my kids to be, the catalyst to that. I want them to be able to go out on a mat, pin you, and then, give you a hand, set you back up, go over some moves with you. Like, that's what I want my kids to be.
And I think it's really cool that you spend an hour a day working on mindset as well. It's not everything. You had mentioned earlier, my kids don't just, they come in and they wrestle, we wrestle, but then you have to spend time in the war room and we work on mind. And that's really cool, because from getting to know all the wrestling coaches and meet everybody, there's a lot of, everybody says we forget to work on the mind and the mental aspect, because most people will tell you it's 90% mental or it's 80% mental, and then the rest is wrestling, right?
Right.
So why do we only work on the 20%, or why do we only work on the 30%, and we leave the other percent to become shit, right? So
absolutely,
it's good, man, and I'm glad that St. Pete has you, man, and I'm glad I got to meet you, and man, what a great guy. And I'm glad that you were able to find your way in life, and you're back making sure that kids find their way, and good for you. I can't wait to get my kids down there to meet you and roll around and just have a good time.
Absolutely. If anybody hasn't checked us out, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, it's just In His Image Wrestling Academy. We're here, 2740 25th Street North, St. Petersburg, Florida.
And you have a family page too, or something I saw.
Yeah, yeah. I have anybody that comes in the building. Basically, what we want to do is, because the Corona hit, it's basically I want the wrestlers in the room. I kind of don't want the parents in the room, just to elaborate on the fact of keeping it COVID friendly. So we stream everything live for that group. So if your kid attends my class, even for a drop in, you can stream him right through here and watch everything we're doing in practice.
Very cool. Great idea.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
babysitting service.
Yeah.
Hey, it
They
works.
the parents always love it because they're sharing, and the next thing you know, there's like a million views because their family showing across the country to their family, like look at my son wrestling over here, and it just catches on. And all I really want to do is just bring that enthusiasm to the wrestling that's been missing out. We're bringing it strong, and Pinellas has it on lockdown right now.
I love it,
So
man.
I'm
I
happy.
love it. Hey, I could talk to you for a lot longer. I'm sure you want to go home. So
I need a shower.
get back to your dog.
Oh yes.
He probably wants to walk. All right. See
Absolutely.
you.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Anytime. Call me up. Anytime you have an event, you want to shout it out, you want me at it, just let me know and I'll be there. Obviously, this week was a little different. However,
Right.
I'm still gonna try to make that run.
We'll see. There's still a chance.
There is a chance. I expect that I'm going up there and then I'm going to this, and then I'm sure they're gonna want to like have a drink or have some dinner or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that'll lead to. Hopefully it leads to like dinner and then I go to bed and I'm up early to head back down. But
Right. I'll make a couple phone calls. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, you never know, right? All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
Absolutely. Thank you.